Welcome back, my regular individuals, to another episode of A Word with Erica. And as always, I have a question. Do you or do you know anyone that struggles with finding a positive outlook on life, always being negative, or just embodies the spirit of offense? I'm asking because that individual was me. And it's difficult. It's difficult to change from those things. Someone who is stuck in a negative mindset. When I was growing up, they used to call me, I was such a negative Nancy. And I was offended by that, of course. But I was. Now that I think about it, I was definitely in a negative mindset. And it's really difficult to get out of that. And I say this because I am 30 plus years old. And there is a newfound ability to look at the positive side of life or be optimistic versus pessimistic. And it's funny because that's a complete change from always being negative about something or always thinking someone's offending you to completely being able to, be an optimist and think, oh, it's going to be okay. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm fine and I'm not upset. That feels really good. So, just a little background information. I grew up in a church, and I don't know, I was just a mean little thing. I wouldn't say I was mean, I would say I was guarded, and I was trying to protect myself because anytime anybody came to me, they always had something to say. They always had a critique or a criticism, and I just didn't like it because why? Why do I need that? Why do I need to hear what you have to say about me? No, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't like it. And I immediately took offense to everything somebody had to say. So even, hey, I think you should put on a coat. It's cold outside. You don't tell me what to do. I don't want to wear a coat. Like, why am I acting like that? So are you that person? Are you that individual that has a hard time accepting criticism and everything has a negative response to it? If it is, take a look, think about it. Like, no one wants to be around that. I didn't have many friends, and nobody wanted to be around me. And guess what? That made me not want to be around them either. And I would say I had no friends, but that's because I didn't know how to accept criticism on any level. Every time we're gonna go somewhere, we're gonna do something, or I think you should do this, I always had something negative to say about it. I was stuck in a negative mindset for years. I never thought that I was good enough, but I also think that comes from some of my upbringing. Like, we didn't know how to lift one another up, but we did know how to tear one another down. And that stuck with me. I had really, really low self-esteem. I was the darkest one in my entire family. I had up until a few years ago a skin complex. I never wanted to date a dark-skinned guy. I never wanted to have any dark-skinned children because of my upbringing. I didn't want them to have the same skin complex that I did, and I didn't want them to I just didn't want them to go through the things that I went through. But I was always negative about everything because I wasn't made to feel like I was good enough. But now I know I am good enough, and actually I'm pretty awesome. I'm a regular individual, much like yourself. So that means if I think I'm awesome, you're pretty awesome too. But you have to believe that as well. But just stuck in a negative mindset. We made a, let's see, when we were in church, my sister, me, and a couple other church members, we came up with this magazine, and it was called Vertical. And I remember I had to write an article about, it was called Are You a Fire Starter? And I was such a negative Nancy, and I was always angry. Everybody will always say, I don't want to talk to you, or I'm unapproachable, or they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me. I didn't understand for a long time. But then I sat back and somehow saw outside of myself. And it might not have been me seeing myself, but seeing someone else who acts like me. Where I was like, oh my gosh, is that how I present? Is that how I look to people? Where they don't want anything to do with me because I'm mean, or I'm always offended by every little thing somebody had to say. That's no fun. I could not get out of that negative Nancy mode. I just didn't feel like I was good enough. But I am. And I've got my bachelor's, and now I'm working on my master's. And it's grand. Life is grand. Like, I didn't think I would be a good mother. I didn't think I would have anything to offer them because I wasn't in a good space. But even in that negative Nancy mindset, that negative mindset that I always had and always being offended, where I would, if you offended me, you might as well get ready to get on my block list. Like, I'm the queen of blocking. You piss me off, bye. I'm not going to talk to you. You go talk to me, I'm either going to walk away or I'm going to act like I don't see you. Or I'm going to say something mean. But that was me back in the day. Now I am able to take the criticism. It doesn't always feel good, but I can accept it and I can reflect on it. I don't always have to respond right then. I could come back, okay, you made a valid point. Or if I feel like you've completely, ran me over with your words, then I'll probably take a break. But I will ponder on those words. And I think as individuals who have been stuck in such a negative mindset can have a little bit of encouragement. Once we get into more videos, then I'll dive deeper into who Erica is, so you can understand. Like, cause I know you're like, why do I have to listen to her? You don't. These videos are not for everyone. They're for who they're for, and who's gonna watch them is whoever's gonna watch them. And I'm hoping to just give some encouragement based on my experiences and how I've come out of those things. Like I said, I like who I am right now. I do. And I think I know I'm good enough. And I'm no longer in a negative mindset. And it feels absolutely amazing. It feels amazing because it is truly a weight that you put on yourself. No one else is putting it on you. Putting it on yourself. And it's heavy. And it doesn't feel good. And it makes you look broken down, beat down, mean, unapproachable. But together, we can lift those things off of us. And I will say, and I am an advocate now for therapy. Therapy works. Having someone to talk to, it's scary. But having someone to talk to about how you're feeling, having someone to process those things with, it doesn't have to be a therapist. It could be a good friend, a family member. You can even talk to yourself. I know you're not crazy if you talk to yourself. Like, literally, you can look in a mirror and you can talk about the things that you're feeling and how you want to change. But you have to also have a plan, and then you have to execute that plan to get out of that negative mindset. It's difficult. And it takes consistency to change that. But if you're willing, you can. And it feels absolutely amazing not to be the negative person. You can shift. I used to be able to shift an entire room in a few seconds. And Lord, when I say that does not feel good, like, I get on my own nerves sometimes, or I used to. I get on my own nerves still. But I used to get on my own nerves because I was such an angry, hurt, broken individual. Like, I watch people and I'm just like, oh my goodness, you can shift the entire energy of the entire room in 2 seconds in a negative way or a positive way. It used to be negative, but now it's positive and it feels absolutely amazing. That was trash. Sorry, I just put my face all in the camera. I needed to readjust. But just to be able to sigh in relief from the absolute 360 change of myself and my mindset. Like, I am no longer easily offended. Like, because you're looking at me. I used to hate for people to stare at me. Hate people whispering. It don't have nothing to do with me. But because I'm insecure on the inside, I always took everything as someone taking jabs at me or making fun of me, talking about me, or making me feel bad. But no one can make you feel anything. You choose to take on those feelings because of your insecurities. And I think that we should be able to change that by believing in ourselves and wanting to have a different mindset. So if you can just do that, if you need to write it down, all the things that offend you, all the people who have offended you, then you go back and you can think about those things. Some of them are valid offenses and some of them are just you. And it also depends on where you are, what kind of mental space you're in the moment. But that goes for anybody. Anybody. Depending on where you are, you can take things the wrong way. And baby, I can tell you, I was a person that took everything the wrong way. And what that does in the end, it hurts you a lot. So to keep from going through all that hurt, if you can, which you can because you're a regular individual, but you're a grand regular individual, is change your mindset. Stop getting so offended. Stop allowing yourself to be offended. Nobody offended you. You offended you. Think about that and then make efforts to change so you're no longer a negative Nancy or a woe with me type of person. Your life is not all that bad. And though it may seem like it's the worst because it's the worst thing that you've been through or the worst time in your life right now, it's not going to always be like that. And you've seen this. If you're anything like me, you see time and time again, life is a cycle. Everything is a cycle. And the bad things are going to happen. But then it's going to be something good. So you don't always have to be who you've always been. Try to do something different. And you'll see how beautiful life can be. Okay. I'm done talking for right now. And I just hope my regular individuals have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.